The Environmental Farm Plan, EFP, is a voluntary education and awareness tool that helps farmers identify the agri-environmental assets and risks of their operation, develop action plans for risk mitigation, and meet sustainable marketing standards, and access agri-environmental cost-share programs. The EFP is facilitated by a third party, Keystone Agricultural Producers, to maintain producer confidentiality so you can be assured your information is held in confidence. The online EFP was created using leading-edge cybersecurity and privacy policies to ensure your data is always protected.
I love the title. It's Environmental Farm Plan Workbook, and that means to me that it's a work in progress. I'm not going to go and accomplish everything in 1 year. I am going to continue to strive to meet those goals, but it highlights for me areas for improvement. So maybe this year I can afford to upgrade my fuel tank. Maybe this year I can afford to improve my manure management methods or practices. It's a workbook, and that to me as a farmer is less intimidating, knowing that I don't need to accomplish it all by a certain date, but it's something that I can continue to strive for, and it will guide me along the way.
If we can have the people of the farm constantly improving, if we can be a place where people can learn, people can come, friends can come out from the city and say, hey, this is what's going on our farm, I see that as being sustainable on our farm. It's about being open, transparent, and just always improving.
I think the EFP program, I think for us, the big role would be to measure. So we do a lot of measuring on the farm. You know, we measure yield, we measure, our nutrients in the soil and stuff like that, but there's no measurement for like how well we're treating the environment, right? So this gives us a tool to measure that. And I think as a farmer, and a lot of farmers, we talk about our numbers and we measure all sorts of things. And now we have a tool to measure.
If we take Manitoba now, all of these things are produced right in Manitoba. We are uniquely positioned. We have that fertile land. We have that great land resource base for producing cattle. And so when I look at Manitoba, having all these key ingredients to make a great frozen pizza, and let it be other products that we could make as well. Now, if we have that great land, we have that great farmland, that great base, and we put it together with responsible management, we can do some real quality production here in Manitoba.
I mean, for us as farmers, it's about the long game. It's not about what's happening. It is a little bit about what's happening today and tomorrow, but most farmers want to see the farm viable for generations. And EFP, it helps us to find out what some of the best practices are. If we're always striving to do what's best, it's not just best for me, but it's best for my neighbor. It's best for my friends. It's best for people at the grocery store buying my product.
So I remember my dad doing the EFP binder when I was a kid or a teenager. So I remember him working at it, and he wasn't a big paperwork guy, but he did it. So it was when it first came out, and he thought it was important. I got to do my first one when I was in university. That's part of a course we took. And we used it and thought it was a pretty interesting way to kind of measure our impact on the environment.
We need to be acting with best practices. So in our business, producing food direct from the farm to the table, I mean, we are watched all the way along. We need to be providing quality food, prove that we're doing it in a safe manner and that the food is clean, it's good to eat, it is healthy.
I think every farmer thinks they're always doing the right thing, or often trying to do the right thing. And the EFP, it takes that, this is what we're doing on the farm, and says, it compares it to these standards, and yes, we are doing them. And it really helps with outsiders to the farm, right? We've got the public that they can look at this and say, okay, the farmers are a part of this environmental farm plan. They are doing the best practices or working towards doing the best practices. I like the EFP for the fact that it shows that farmers are doing the right thing. It really lends to that idea of, I've got this EFP because I'm doing these things, and it's a good way for us to earn the public's trust.
Yeah, to be a steward of the land is like, that is what farming is taking care of the land. I mean, we're partners with the land. And I think that's what stewardship is. So we're here to take care of it. We're partnered with it, so our livelihood comes from it. And, you know, and then the better I take care of my land and my farm, then the better better company, better business, better livelihood, better life I leave for my kids if they choose to farm, you know. Or, you know, there's other young guys around, and if my kids don't choose to farm, and that's fine, then there's other kids who want to. And we want agriculture to stay in the community and young people to have the opportunity to do it.